Please try.
I don't know.
We'll see what we're playing, though.
Yeah, let's figure this out. Consulate and Villa removed automatically. I'm going to assume, I don't know, maybe Coastline.
It's definitely possible. Not banned yet, obviously. Border. EG doesn't want to play it. So
I assume we'd go with something a little bit more aggro between these two teams. But as we're getting on down the line here with Cafe gone especially, I'm thinking we might be going to some old stomping grounds.
Definitely possible here. Obviously,
we're going to Bank.
Yep.
I think we're going to Bank.
I mean, it was Clubhouse or Bank, both the top maps here for NA, but that is definitely, as you're saying, interesting in terms of old stomping grounds. Also in terms of track records. So while this is a map, as you've said before, is Canadians' old stomping grounds, but at the same time, the one win on this map for these two teams was when Canadian was on the team. Mm-hmm. So EG won it once and then drew it against Rogue. Spacestation lost it once and then drew it against Rogue.
Yeah.
So if Rogue were the test here, we got another drawing coming for Spacestation because both teams technically equally good at it in that sense, but Canadian, the one who helped win the first time of the only of those wins, now on SSG.
That's actually one of the highest draw percentages I've seen.
Well, I mean, the only way it should be higher is if it's Rogue versus SSG. Then it should be 100% draw. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the only way that goes. But again, it is SSG. We know that they have the draw gene. They've been trying to get rid of that recently. But as we were talking about old stomping grounds at Canadian and Bank, the Evil Geniuses team with Canadian on it were really the pioneers of Bank for North America.
That's what Continuum went on when they won the first time.
Yeah, they were practically unstoppable even when they went up against Penta and stuff of old days. It was they were truly impressive on that map. And then of course, as of recent, they've kind of faltered off a bit, but they're still a very, very impressive Bank team. But obviously Canadian now being on SSG, does that make SSG a good Bank team? We'll have to find out. That's going to be the big storytelling.
Here's what I'm looking for then. So Modiga released a video, how to entry frag on Bank.
Oh.
And he's the one that's the new one to the team on Bank. So we'll be looking out to see if those tips work out for you. Definitely be, eyes on you, Modiga.
All right, Mo.
See if you can really entry frag on Bank. Because I think this was released when he was on Disrupt, so this was before he was on EG, but I don't know, I think it's funny.
Maybe it was all a trap.
Yeah, it was
a cruel ploy.
It was a bait. It was like, SSG's going to think this is how.
Yeah, they're going to watch this video.
They're going to be looking for those drones.
He's coming.
Yeah.
He's coming in stock.
The ultimate bait, like before he even knew he'd be on the team, he's like, I'm going to.
An entire year ago, he's like, I'm going to put this video out so when I play SSG on Playday 13.
Yeah. or it turns out he was actually just revealing EG's normal entry strats, not realizing it because he thought he'd be playing against them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how
we just did like a full spectrum of
possible
theory crafting going on. Yeah.
Obviously, we'll see soon here. We're just waiting on one player to get in, and it's not Geo this time, so that's always a good start.
Geo's always late to the party. What
he's not this time, and Modig is here too. So.
All right. So, in order for EG to clinch up, they need to win one game, and Rec needs to lose one game. So if they win this, and then Rec ties their next game, then they're okay. Well, actually, EG can win. If they win both of them, they're in. You're just counting on EG to win. It's all in EG's hands. If they win this, then they're in. Yada, yada, yada.
So how can Space Station, at this point, knowing that Rec just got 1 point,
a promise.
Now that Rec got 1 point, how is it possible? Do EG and Reciprocity have to lose both their next games and this one?
So that means that Reciprocity they're at 20 right now. That put them at 21 for that tie. They're at 15, so they'd have to. Rec would have to. EG and Rec would both have to lose, and LG would also have to lose.
I thought SSG was at 16.
They're at 17.
17. Okay, There we go. Wow.
Yeah, it goes 17, 18, 20, 21, 29. Well, now 30.
This is gonna be tough. SSG. I mean,
Liquipedia brain's on fire today.
Yeah, right.
Good job. Doing a really good job.
As much as I love that SSG, I'm not seeing this super likely. But, who knows? Maybe they'll at least get an invitational through qualifiers again for the... well, there won't be host invite for them this time, though. They didn't get in last time through qualifying. To be fair, they did get host invited. So, that's... We'll see, though. Canadian doesn't like to miss a LAN.
He does not like missing LANs. No.
I think he'll continue to push for that, but...
He's a very competitive guy. If you guys have not seen that, make sure you guys go watch that documentary on Canadian.
How many documentaries now include Canadian, though? Like, all of them?
There's one that's truly just Canadian.
Yeah.
We have the ESO one, and then we also have the score one.
Yeah,
That's fantastic. They make great content. I love those guys.
There's a lot of good kind of things about different specific players. Like there was one on Bolo. I think there's one on Pengu.
When does Bolo play? That was a good one.
Yeah.
They also had one. They just released a recent one on Joystick.
Yeah, that was. But then it was all clips of Shepard clutching. I thought that was so funny. I was like,
I mean, Shepard was just a different beast at that LAN. But
absolutely.
all things aside, all regions aside, it's time to get back to where things matter. It's Bank. It's EG versus SSG, everyone. We have EG trying to make it to LAN. We have SSG still trying to ride that rocket ship, but it's running out of fuel. We'll have to see who can possibly win this one.
Well, it is a bit of a moonshot for them here at this point, so it seems appropriate. But Habana getting banned on Bank, not unusual at all. This is the reason for a good majority of Habana bans is Bank.
Good takeaway for the hatch pressure. We see that happen a lot. It really makes Thermite pick and choose what he wants to do. Jackal going to be banned out.
Important part of that is Capitao on the board. We saw with Slash's play, the way it could be played is very useful as an operator on this particular map.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Capitao is a useful operator on every single map because you literally just shut down all the avenues of rotation.
Well, it even nullified Mira still being in play at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to be the case this time, but it does help nullify that. So I got to imagine we'll see some Capitao play from at least one of these teams.
We'll probably see him 80% of the time, I would say.
Yeah, I would hope so, because it seems like a waste not to.
Echo going to be banned out as well, which again, this is just... Actually, this lineup right here for bans is the most routine as routine gets for Bank.
Yeah, absolutely. And this, of course, means Maestros, Evil Eyes are going to be, particularly problematic, but also the Black Eyes around. So you're going to want to bring IQ to try and spot all those as much as possible, as early as possible. And then, of course, probably in Ashes Sophia to take out at least the ones inside the site when possible. If not, there's other ways to take them out. Maverick going to be played here along with Thermite. Go for the extra hard breach, and it is going to be CEO first, so that's going to be pretty handy. Definitely want to be able to try and get open the wall if that's what you want to go for, but I always think it's fun that you can kind of poke some holes in those castle barricades that Rampy will be putting up as well. Something that a lot of people aren't always watching for is to throw some holes in those when you think you're safe and just get peeked. There's the sneaky going from the Pulse to the Valkyrie. And of course, that Pulse could be teasing them to make them think it's going to be starting down CCTV. So good fake out there. We know Troy likes to play the mind games, as he was talking about last time I interviewed him. He was talking about the mind games on site choices and stuff. So being the IGL, of course, he's going to help contribute to those.
You got to do that. If there's one time that it works and it gives you a free round, then why wouldn't you?
Yeah, you need to.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I love the 6-pick stuff. And I know Antero's, for example, not a big fan of it being kind of slowing things down.
It doesn't harm anything.
I still really like. I know it slows things down a little bit, but I just love the extra little bits of potential mind games.
Oh, we might have an issue.
Yeah, it might have been. Sometimes when just going in straight from the operator choice, sometimes people get either crashes or sound issues occasionally. So we are just gonna have to quickly rehost. Hopefully, it should be quick. We probably will have to remake the lobby and get people back into it, but not a lot of data we have to put back into it. Of course, make sure the sides, team names, etc., etc. We will be putting in the bans as well. Of course,
they have to play the same operator lineup as well.
Yeah, so we have to make sure that they do that and make sure to enforce that as well. But shouldn't take too long. Either way, though. Should be interesting. So they've got all the utility they need to be able to make sure they get that back wall open if they want to go with that. Because let's say they try and trick stuff, they've got a Maverick. If they aren't trying to trick stuff, you got a Thermite. You got a Thatcher. You got what you need to open it. But they've got to, of course, know that that's the site now when they go to actually check for that.
Well, especially with how SSG have been playing recently, they've been playing a lot faster. So we might see some aggressive holds up top, especially with that lineup that is being brought by Evil Geniuses. They can't counter out reinforcing elevator wall to make that hallway safe to play. Somebody's either going to have to come up grand stairs or main.
We've seen
or challenge them from square.
A lot of aggressive pushes up those stairs lately.
So they're either going to have to try and go that avenue, or SSG, tries to play Turtle, and then that's when the Maverick play can come into that. But I feel like that's going to be highly contested right there on those square walls.
I mean, we definitely could see just, Maestro kind of playing around up there. If he wants to try and play the elevator, he can. I mean, it can work to some extent. But yeah, there's usually like an Evil Eye up there that they struggle to deal with at the top of the stairs. You got the old banana bulletproof cam sometimes as well. Yeah, plenty of utility to play on that side. And it's a question because a lot of teams have been pushing lobby a bit more than they used to and not focusing on that back wall and square as much. But I mean, they've got the utility to take the square wall at the very least. I do wonder where the castle barricades will go up because it's not as set in stone as some other sites and things like that. The castle barricades do vary. Some people concentrate them on windows, some people on doors. Like for example, a janitor door used to be the old, always put it on janitor door. Not always the case anymore. So it's teams kind of changing it up a little bit. I'd like to see where those castles end up specifically.
I mean, it might be a very, very weird setup. We saw Reciprocity actually set this up very awkwardly earlier this week, I believe. I believe it was on Monday where they ended up putting that castle barricade up on the elevator, the first floor elevator hall door, and then they made an impact through to logistics, and they played logistics right there with Lax. And I believe it was this Monday. I know it was Reciprocity on Bank. I just can't remember exactly which day it was. It was very recent, though. Yeah. So they had a weird idea of how to hold down lobby, but it ended up working out in the end. So
I mean, maybe they can't repeat it though. Like that might be figured out by now.
It'd be an adaptation from another team, and
Well, we saw teams doing that. So, for example, when Rogue tried to bring out the castle barricades to do open area for the first time, when no one was doing open area.
Yeah.
And it was all about the castle barricades and those impact rotates and things like that. That was a new thing. It didn't really work very well. It took a long time for teams to be able to kind of win that. But yeah, it did start to get copied and adapted, and other teams tried it. So maybe it will be part of it. Maybe that lobby hold will be important because of how important lobby is to this attack now.
I don't think a lot of teams really prefer square anymore, just because how dangerous it is. You're relying on a lot of things to go right for you.
You're trapped on like a catwalk, and it almost starts to feel like
you
a
can just
skyscraper.
nitro cell right under it. It's just there's a lot of things going on over there.
Or over it.
But yeah, exactly. You can come up blue stairs, huck a nitro cell up. I mean, there's been plenty of times where people get free rotations from blue stairs, just throw an impact against a thermite and dip right through kitchen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Possible.
There's a lot of things that you can do in order to counteract the top take.
We get circular meta though. I feel like we'll go back to lobby for a while, and then it'll go back to square.
It's just team preference. That's really it. What do you feel more confident on? No one's going to be repelling the windows really, because everyone just loves to throw themselves from them.
Oh,
so,
that's always fun. Yeah, just watching the funniest part to me is when someone commits to that.
Yeah.
They jump out the window and then they get down sewers and get away with it.
Oh, absolutely. Or get to the front lobby door, and you're like, how are you not dead yet?
Yeah. Why did no one kill this guy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always fun. It's rare because most of the time it's a suicide mission.
It's an exciting map for every site that isn't downstairs.
Yeah, it's the downstairs. It's
the same thing over and over again.
And I think we're probably gonna need either some operator changes or some new operators to really shake that up at some point.
Open area is completely playable. I'm in the same boat as Ironic on that. I think it's really the only site on the entire map where you can rotate to it from upstairs and out of it going to downstairs.
That's the thing is, leaving the hatches soft can really hurt you.
Oh, absolutely. But it really is reminiscent of the split site on Consulate, for instance. Where granted, you do have a site downstairs with
Archives
you.
Tellers, yeah.
Yeah, where you do have a site downstairs with you. In this case, obviously, you have them both on the same level, but you can still rotate down to the next level from that upstairs site.
I mean, I agree. I think it's playable, but I need to see it actually really working out consistently, because it's not. And at the same time,
it's really just because of that copy room area, though.
Yeah.
If you really think about it.
Yeah, that printer's tricky.
It's just a very, very weird area.
I mean, and that's why I feel like it's either got to be someone like comes up with one like really creative thing to handle that, or operator changes. And I don't mean necessarily just new operators. Sometimes the mid-season reinforcement tweaks or some other operator tweaks can be enough to shake that. Or someone just goes, I can use this operator this way, and I didn't really think of that.
All right, so you castled the kitchen door, you castled the copy window.
Yeah.
You bring Ella, you put Ella mines literally everywhere. Legion, you just trap it out upstairs, right?
Just throw some cap cans in.
Yeah, we're just theory crafting at this point.
Why not?
Yeah, you run the Legion, you run the Ella, you run Castle, you run Mute, just in case they don't bring a sledge or something in order to, mute breaching charges. You run that, and then you run, I would say, Maestro. And I feel like you have a pretty good setup.
It's possible, man. There's so many possibilities that just, and the thing is, it's like, there's theories that might work just fine, but just people don't execute on them.
Yeah, and the main thing is that site is really hard to execute if you really think about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you lose top control, they could just open up the entire floor of stock, and you are so screwed.
Yeah.
So if they get any pressure upstairs, you practically already lost the site.
Well, it happens, but we'll see. I mean, obviously, we're just waiting on it. We've got everyone in the lobby, so I'm not sure what the delay is in terms of players getting ready yet, but they might just be making sure that wire's running and stuff like that. Or that they're booting something else on the other computer. We've got to make sure the anti-cheats are running and things like that, of course. But
trying to get Fultz some of his jorts so he can play correctly.
Yeah, you got to be comfortable.
Hey, man, he loves those jorts.
It used to be the thing to win in sweatpants. I think it was both Canadian and Skies that used to win in sweatpants. That was the thing. Is you got to be loose to win.
You got to be loose, man. You got to be loose to goosey.
You got to do it. You got to
do it.
But I think you're not allowed to wear. I thought you were not allowed to wear sandals on stage, but then we got like Fabian with like shoeless,
Yeah, but Fabian was shoeless. He left his shoes under the desk.
Yeah, it's true. As long as you're on the desk, I think you're allowed to.
Yeah, you can take your shoes off. You got to be utmost comfortable. Here's my thing personally, is that my feet get so cold, so I have to wear shoes. Like even when I'm home playing, I'm wearing shoes.
Yeah.
I'm so serious.
Gotta stay grounded.
I got big feet, man.
Yeah.
Big socks, Like, it happens.
Yeah, well, you know what? As long as you're staying
Cold
safe.
feet suck. You don't want cold feet. Having
There you
cold
go.
feet is terrible.
There's your pro tip of the day.
Yeah, pro tip of the day.
Keep
Make
your
sure
feet
your
warm.
feet are warm when you're
Yeah.
playing.
Especially if you play with some kind of foot paddle controller for some reason.
Now we're gonna see pro players with like a hot pad that are just like gonna put it down on their feet and be like,
know,
my feet are always toasted.
We get all those NA tweets about their shoes and stuff. Let's see some tweets about some socks. I want to see what socks people
You just need to go the Stuart Ewan route and get some tech wear. Get some shoes that heat your feet. There you go.
There you go. I mean,
There you go.
or just a heated floor. Usually those are in like bathrooms, but
Yeah, the tile floors.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
It's so good.
I have one of those at home. It's
Hey,
so
you.
nice. It's so good.
Bring it with you next time.
I will.
From
Don't worry.
home. Yeah, bring it out here. Easy.
My mom will be asking me why I'm ripping up the bathroom floor. Yeah, it'd be great.
So, got to check it in. Bring
Yeah,
it back.
Emzo needed it. This is
Yeah.
for casting.
It's important.
Don't ask questions.
Still not sure what the delay is, so folks, obviously we'd hit the yes button if we could, but we're just waiting on them to be ready.
Yep.
And unfortunately, not enough of the actual match to really talk about here just yet. That is always
Yeah,
the
because
problem with
nothing's
this.
really happened.
Nope.
So, but we do have some other games that we can possibly talk about and just spitball for the rest of the day if we want to do that and try and
Sure.
waste a little bit more time. So we have LG versus Rogue coming up next. Luminosity had a recent roster change of Pixel getting dropped and then A Factor getting picked up. That happened extremely recently. That was
Factor's-
September 23rd. And Factor's been doing really well.
He's had some really good, especially the USN match.
On the USN desk, that man went
That was
insane.
He was literally just like 4K around, 4K around, 3K around. He was just
Factor's
like
very
running
dangerous.
as Thatcher.
So, fun fact, if you didn't know this, because
Yeah.
I know you didn't cast the event, the Vegas Minor, he was the highest rated player at the entire event.
Maybe again this time.
The entire event.
They're going right. Yes, no.
To USN?
Yeah, Vegas.
I have no
I
idea.
don't remember who's qualified. yet.
No, yeah, I think they've qualified.
Those of you who don't know who for whatever reason have not watched USN as well, of course, our sister thing.
Our playoffs work very, very weird, so
Yeah.
I don't want to say that they have qualified and they haven't. I obviously
Yeah.
know that they won their most recent matchup.
Yeah, but they're having it again in Vegas.
They're either
in
the close
December.
qualifier or they're qualified.
Yeah, so make sure if you are in the West Coast, which is the best coast, I have to say, I'm sorry, it is worth going to. Absolutely, definitely check that out as well. So, of course, we will have a lot of events coming up because, of course, we've got Japan in November. We've got OGA Pit in December, and we've also got that USN finals in December. So it is going to be
There's so
a
much
lit
stage.
holiday season.
Yeah, we're going to be having
I'm
a
sorry
real
to your
good time.
family. You can see them on Thanksgiving. The rest of the time, you're busy.
Yeah, no, you're with us. That's
Yeah.
where you are. You're with us.
We're-
You're going to
we're
be
your
coming with
family.
us on this journey.
Yeah.
We're going to Vegas.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to, is it Croatia? Is where OGA is?
Yeah,
It's
split.
out of?
Yeah.
Yeah, out of Croatia.
You got a lot of
And then-
traveling to do.
And then you get 1 month off. 1 month. You get January off. And then February is
Yeah.
the 6th invitation.
Here's what you do. You sign up for a credit card that's tied to an airline. So you
Yep.
get credit you can spend for money you don't actually have.
Go for it,
But you'll get
accountant.
miles out of it.
I like it.
And you can use that to kind of just rack up points off this.
There you go.
Easy.
Just put yourself into debt.
It's worth. Just make sure you have enough left on your max for invitational as well, of course. You gotta, come on.
You know that leftover money that you had from getting your college loan? Just
Yeah.
use that. It's
Tell
fine.
everyone what you want for Christmas is for them to help pay for invitational for you.
Help me not be poor.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate
You could do that for me, right? Appropriate for a match on bank.
Yeah, exactly. Just rob the gold vault. It'll work out.
Easy.
Last match of the day, though, is going to be TSM versus Susquehanna Sonics. TSM now being a double coach team because they've confirmed that, Gotcha is a confirmed pickup and places.
I still consider it a 3-coach team because Bolo coached Disrupt as well.
That doesn't count.
It does count because it was at an
What
event
did he
and they
do?
actually beat up EG.
What did
Remember
he
they
do?
2-0'd
Bolo probably just said there was like, good job.
He coached them through, how to peak, how to lean.
Lean properly.
Yeah, how to lean proper. See? It's
I'm
important.
trying to think. During that game, was Bolo leaning still in? I think it was.
I think I saw Bolo on the stage behind them leaning. Like, as a coach, he's like, guys. Like, because,
He's just got Q&E, just
Look.
like on a separate little keyboard.
Yeah.
He's just doing it for everybody.
For those who don't know, it was at a DreamHack, and Bolo was still underage at the time, so he could not be a player, so he was the coach. So that was as close as he could be at the moment.
Yeah.
And so I still consider him a coach.
He was. Who was on that? It was Hyper.
Yeah.
Yog was on there, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yaga?
Yaga, yeah.
Shout out to Yaga, man. Another kid from Iowa. I appreciate people from Iowa.
It's rough out there.
It sucks out there.
rough
That's
out
why
there.
you gotta appreciate.
That's
your
why the
people.
video games
If
are
you
big.
live in a crappy state, you just
Yeah.
have to appreciate people from your state because you're like, you know
did
what
it too. Yeah,
you know
you-
what it's like.
you survived.
That sucks. Like.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Actually, fun fact, my grandparents live in the same county that Lauren's family, Goddess's family, lives in. It's the least populated county in the entire state of Iowa.
That's rough.
No one lives there.
No.
You have to drive 30 minutes to get to a Walmart, guys. 30 minutes.
I'm going to town
Terrible.
today.
Oh my God, dude, you have no idea.
boy.
And even when you're in town, you're like, this isn't a town. There's like one person walking on the sidewalk. There's a rabid dog, and I have a Casey's gas station. That's really it.
Well, there's your second pro tip of the day. Be careful
don't live in Iowa.
Yeah.
There you go. I love Iowa so much. Go Hawkeyes, but my gosh, man, it's a flyover state for a reason.
Maybe we'll get a map of it someday. We got the Oregon one, right? I don't think that's actually really like necessarily
I don't think it's
Oregon.
yeah.
Because I think it was based off of the Waco stuff.
Yeah, it's based off the
But
Waco
still,
stuff. It's also reminiscent of the Outbreak patch, which is very, very cool. But for that TSM versus Susquehanna game, I think it's going to be really close. I'm really feeling that, especially since Susquehanna also got the recent pickup of Slebin and Gomfey. They got that September 9th, but as we all know, there was a delay on that because of visa issues.
And now that they finally got them warmed up, they won.
Yeah, and now there's no excuses.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
There's no excuses. So
yeah, you can't say they're playing from an internet cafe. So if you guys lose,
well, to be fair, that's what Super said in the last interview too.
I mean, if they were, let's be completely honest. Yeah. It's a terrible situation that they had to go through. But again, it's either here nor there. It's not ESL's fault, not really their fault.
The important thing for them is to try and avoid relegation.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing right now.
All the way
if they beat TSM today, that's huge. That is a huge thing. They really need that. And Slebin and Gomfey have been able to prove that they can at least swing with this team, even with the internet cafe match that they had the last time on Monday. But now, all in the same building, there's no more excuses, but they could also gain quite a bit more from this.
Absolutely.
So.
I mean, they are probably not going to get themselves out of the relegation spot. At this point, it's possible.
It's possible.
But I'm just
you also
saying not probable.
You need Rogue and TSM to both crap the bed.
Yeah.
So.
But to be fair, they've been doing a fair amount of that. But you also have to consider Rogue may look bad on paper, but they have, 5-6 draws now?
Well, now they have
6 draws?
Now they have Redeemer, and he's there to redeem the dream.
Well, here's the thing. 6 draws means that's 6 rounds away from 6 wins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's one full match's worth of win, like less than one full match's worth of round wins to have 6 wins instead of 6 draws. So they were always close. It's just choking that got them. And that's the thing is it is hard sometimes to judge a team because of draws, because they only get 1 point. There's literally 3 times less points.
Yeah.
And it makes it seem like it's a drastic difference. 3 times less points for getting 1 less round.
Yeah.
But
imagine if they got half of those as wins.
Yeah. They'd be looking pretty good. And that's the rough thing they have to go through. But SSG are in the same boat here.
Yeah.
So they know the pain as well, although I think Rogue's still definitely winning the tie battle.
SSG's a little bit past it at this point now, though.
Thankfully.
If we check the standings here, I'll bring them up real quick. Check the standings and see what they are for ties this season, just comparative. Space Station is tied 5 times, so they still have the bug.
Yeah,
it's still there. But we're gonna get back into the game now, ladies
here
and gentlemen.
Go.
We don't have to delay you anymore. Sorry you had to stare at our faces. I apologize.
I was about to start reading a book.
Evil Geniuses versus Space Station coming right back at you guys here in just a second. Once we get the whole
we're just making sure
transition
it's working.
thing. We're just making sure it's working here. So
they're on operator picks, so we're getting there.
We're hoping that the sound works.
Oh boy, yeah.
That's what.
If not, just play without it. Come on.
That's what we're worried about.
Give us 1 round before you rehost again.
By the way, how many times is Geo going to change his tag?
This is
like
every 30
the
days.
7th time I've seen him with a different Geo.
That's how you know. Every 30 days. That's how often he's going to
12 times a year.
Yeah, 12 times a year. There you go.
12 times a year.
Oh man, I'm glad they limited that at least.
Oh, they did.
Well, I mean to the 30.
Oh
days.
yeah.
Because originally you could do it whenever you wanted. That was not fun.
I kind of miss that for my Smurfs. Honestly, just so that people can't get a beat on, if I'm playing or not. It's always nice, but, Well, let's get back into things. So we're going to be a CEO hold up top. If you guys are just joining us, these are going to be the exact same operator lineup. So the teams might have gotten a little bit of information on each other, but not much. Do have a pretty good delay setup here from the side of SSG, though. Legion, Maestro, and Smoke. So that's going to work out pretty well. I'm going to assume Bosco is going to be playing in the hallway over here, the elevator hallway where he's currently standing. He's going to rotate back in towards the front office. They do have a castle as well. I actually kind of like this rotation here, but you can get kind of a sideways angle on that from the main stairs skylight. You can't exactly see them directly when they go in the hole, but if they transition out of that rotate to the left or try and run down the hall to get to it, they can absolutely counter that. So it's going to be a very, very tiny area of error.
Well, we'll see if they make that, of course. A lot of that's going to come down to droning and being prepared for that with proper timing. But they have at least enough intel possible between the Evil Eyes, the Black Eyes, and the Goo Mines. Definitely make things trickier. And then, of course, those castle barricades will help at least, play in certain areas more securely. We'll see what they end up doing, though. But it so far looks like they at least want to potentially take square, depending on whether or not NVK goes down here. Just looking to see if we can catch anyone first from the skylights. But of course, why not, right? Take the freebies from the skylights if you can. He is definitely marching his way across the roof, though, as in Ash, looking like he could go for some rappel peeks into the lobby. So maybe they are going to go for the lobby after all.
I love the chess match of Rainbow Six Siege, and this is exactly why. Especially with defensive sites, when they go to a area that you didn't think they were going to go to. They went to CEO, traditionally speaking. You start downstairs on bank. You have to try and take your chess pieces and make something work, and that's exactly what Evil Geniuses have to go through right now. You have to crunch some numbers, get your brain moving, because the round's going by. Every single second is a second that either wins or loses you the match, and they're going to start things off properly, and that's going to be a huge pick on the Bolts as well. Maestro away. No more lasers. He can only view the evil eyes. They can't move. That's a lot of utility off the board.
Well, it looks like we will get that spiral stairs push already from NVK, but the goo mine, that's two of them. Bosco really making this a literal pain in his feet, at least. Canadian looking to take advantage of the flashbangs to actually rotate with the cover of the noise. He's going to sneak around here for potential counterplay, but doesn't catch NVK in time. His old teammate does see, the pre-fire going to give away his position now, though. They're going to drone him out.
I like this. So a little bit of a rotate setup, but it's more used for an angle from the main stairs area. That's extremely smart. Thinking they're going to take quite a bit of damage as well, and soon he will fall. So there's no more smoke. It's all left of the 3 remaining members, soon to be 2 remaining members of SSG. Mo claims Rampy's life on a Claymore as well, but that's not before Necrox will falter off. Canadian will follow it up with a nice strike onto NVK that's going to burn his Nitro Cell, though. All of a sudden, this becomes winnable. They do still have the Thatcher as well as the Thermite, though, so they can get any of these open at any given time, but it's still going to be a frontal assault. Canadian trying to rush back to help out Bosco, as he's currently still all alone inside of sight. Gio's actually going to rotate towards Grand Stairs. Mo has presence over inside of quad windows as well, as they need to try and get this plant down. He's going to start the plant over in the corner near him. Bosco actually ends up picking up Young, and that's going to be the diffuser down as well. Canadian could make a huge play here. Why is he still outside on square? Oh, they have it as a soft barricade. Can he possibly kill the IQ? No. Mo finds Bosco. He's already lit up both of them, though. Only 5 seconds as the plant starts to go down. Obviously, this can plant into overtime. It's all on Gio, and he wins it out. Evil Geniuses, a little bit dire there at the very tail end, but nevertheless, a very good round.
It was the early manpower advantage they had, so once the trade started coming out towards the end there, I mean, stopping the Young on the defuse, though, was definitely a good play. They just were not able to control enough to stop that, but if you win enough gunfights and you have the manpower advantage, trades are all you need.
If Troy is on any other operator besides Valkyrie with an MPX, he kills that IQ. Anyone else?
Oh, that's funny.
Anybody.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Low damage margin.
Yeah.
Okay rate of fire. Not very good damage drop-off.
Gotta hit the heads.
Yeah. If he clicks the head, obviously it works out with any gun in this game. It works out. But if he legitimately has any other gun besides the MPX and the SMG category, he ends up winning out that gunfight. Which
he's not going to be on it this time. He's giving it over to Thinking Nate, and he's doing another 6-pick to the Pulse this time to he's trying to make them think that he's going to try the top floor again.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is it's like the 6-pick's a freebie.
I like the mind games.
He doesn't have to do it. No. But it's like, he's like, might as well. Just trip them up for a second. The nice thing is this game's at a point, though, most of the time where you can kind of bring the same attacker lineup for most sites, with the exception of Consulate and Thermite.
I look at it this way. For every single site, or excuse me, every single map as a team, you formulate a routine setup of going, okay, these are our operators that we routinely run on offense. This is going to be our default. This is our default, right? And then you all obviously have your flexes, which is like, hey, are we having trouble with roam game? Okay, we'll 6-pick to a Jackal. Okay, are we having trouble with hard breach? Okay, we'll bring a Maverick.
Well, here's the nice thing, is if the defenders are winning sites, then you know where they're going to go much more likely. Yeah. So you can then start to counterplay. You saw, for example, it was Dark Zero was starting to do some counter picks. They're starting to pick different operators on attack because you're in a position to go, okay, well, we know which site they're going to be playing now. We can start to bring operators to counter that. And the more sites they win, the more you can predict what the next site's going to be because it locks out previous sites.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the chess match that is Rainbow Six Siege. It's just a bunch of pieces that you have to try and put together and formulate something with. And again, if you bring something that's completely wrong, you can win a site just completely off of that.
Yeah,
it's
still got a gun.
Impressive. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can always go the lead avenue.
Yeah. Get the lead out.
Get the lead out. We are going to have Bosco playing blue stairs, though. Rampy down below. This is a pretty routine setup. No Warden this time around.
The upside, though, is the new shield allows him to actually peek out the door because he put it at an angle. He can better anticipate someone pushing him now.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Traditionally speaking, we'll either see Smoke or Ella played here, but since we do have Warden in the mix now, we've seen him played a handful of times, mostly by laxing on reciprocity.
It's because Warden has a shotgun, too. This shotgun is
the same shotgun.
Same with Ella as well. It's all about having a shotgun for this position. Because it works, we see so many people throw away their lives at the top of those stairs.
Oh, it's going to get very dangerous here. He has plenty of ADSs as well. They do have Thatchers, so we could always just have Geo actually burn off these ADSs from the sidewall with one of his EMPs, but right now it seems to have halted them. They have beaten down the barbed wire, so Bosco's going to have to be aware of that. Here we go. A frag grenade going to pour in immediately after. One of the smokes hails down. Does he deal any damage? No, he does not. Bosco's actually going to be able to leave. Rampy going to rotate down into the bottom of blue, puts yet another ADS. Still have to be extremely aware. Is it going to go over? Will it get eaten up? No, it won't. No, not quick enough on the flick. NVK will be, though, and delivers a shot to the head of Bosco, and all of a sudden they have blue control. Rampy seems to have left the area. Yes, Young has been droning downstairs as well, so they definitely know that server's clear. Now they can go for that CCTV wall.
They've got that Maestro in the garage as well. They're trying to hold things off, but he's got to time things perfectly, and he's spending time on his cameras. You hear him zapping with the laser, and Mo Digga is going to be the one he's going to have to watch out for, because as soon as he starts pushing into sight, that might force play from him to help cover, for example, Canadian to be able to stay alive here. And this starts to become a multi-pronged attack once this main stairs push comes from Mo Digga. So here's that entry fragger on bank kind of roll now, where he's supporting the push now at this point, as Young is in position to plant, but Canadian's going to be calling that out. Let's try and make sure, and they're of course droning as well to see who they're dealing with in red, to see if they have a nitro cell. In this case they do, but the smoke already being dead means nitros are everything here.
Yeah, that's a huge pick. That's the one dire thing, or the one desperate thing about this setup is, oh my goodness, is it completely becomes a bloodbath in sight. It's actually SSG trying to battle back. Evil Geniuses coming out on top in that round. And as you said, it's a strat that leans heavily on holding down blue, but when you have smoke there, it makes it very difficult once you lose that area, because you no longer have any toxic babes to try and delay, and you have to go with all of the nitro cells.
Yeah, play someone else like Ella or Warden up there. Someone's a little more dispensable, who are mostly just good for that one roll.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, that way it's like, you lose them, you still got the smoke. And because the thing is, you only get one nitro cell per person, whereas you get 3 smokes for and it's a good thing they don't give him a nitro cell.
You can delay 45 seconds if he's played perfectly as well. So.
And then, of course, once Goyo comes into the mix, you're going to be able to delay even longer with the fire.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Goyo is such a dangerous operator.
Ooh, that's going to be... Time management is going to be so rough when he's in play.
Can't say the same for Amaru, but...
Well, that'll be the opposite kind of time management problem. It's,
the only thing I see Amaru being useful for is immediate map pressure. Like, if you know part of a map's clear,
to be fair, in bank,
some pressure.
Right into the top floor windows on...
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. If you know something's clear and you're like, hey, we need this for the roam clear, just throw Amaru right through the window.
Well, if you see, for example, they're all playing roam, get in there with the diffuser. Hey, give me diffuser. I'm going in. Right on up. Entirely possible.
Yeah, but she has to, like, stop and tie her shoes before she does anything.
Hey, if it's clear, it's clear. If you know there's no one up there.
That little delay of time after she swings in the window, somebody's definitely going to shoot her.
Oh, probably. No, it's. Yeah. But hey, we didn't think Nook or Warden was going to see much play, and we've seen.
They haven't seen much play though.
It's true. They haven't seen much play.
Just because they were played doesn't mean that they've been played a lot.
All right.
Gosh.
I'm trying to hype up these new ops, okay? Jeez. Just let me have a moment.
Hey, Nook's a lot of fun. Just, not in a competitive environment.
Hey, you know what? It worked out. When we saw it earlier, it was a great distraction.
Yeah, but it was distracted one person. The rest of the site
was literally the only one who died.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, no, I know. We'll see. What I'm interested in this round, though, is Canadian on that clash. That's going to be the interesting part of this.
I like it. I honestly like the pickup, especially because they just tried to push themselves up grand stairs.
Yeah, top of stairs with clash.
Yeah. It's almost impossible to get around her, especially because you don't have Mo on his signature operator. There is no Zofia.
Which is weird because it's such a well-played operator in terms of, like, you see it consistently because it works really well.
Especially with Mo. And that's one of his most played ops is Zofia.
Also, Captau still not being played despite being available. That's another good counter.
Well, for counters, out. That's the Canadian.
Yeah, he's like, I know what
that's Canadian right there. He knows exactly what they haven't been playing. He's like, you know what I take here? Clash, because they haven't played Zofia and they have not brought a Capitao.
They're not going to, so it's fine.
Yeah. Again, this is all the mind games inside of Rainbow Six Siege. You really got to pay attention.
That's the 4D part of the chess.
This is the 4D part of the chess. I like that. All right. Well, as this round 3 has continued to transpire. We haven't had too much action go on just yet. A little bit of a roam game downstairs from Rampy, but he's going to get droned out by Mo inside of Archives as the rest of the squad is upstairs, just trying to hold things down. Information game still a priority for the offense. They haven't really made any strides to get towards site. They do have some lobby presence as IQ is trying to pose to see if she can possibly get up the staircase, but obviously with Canadian bearing down on the top of the stairs, more than likely not going to happen.
It's nice when you're playing an operator that you can just let drones pass by and be like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm making myself known here regardless, so.
It's the same play with Monty, where you just stand there just like, hi, how are you?
In that case, he's usually the drone himself.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Yeah, he's the Walmart greeter of bank.
Yeah, exactly. You literally can't do anything to him.
Yeah.
You're basically an NPC. You can't do any damage to him.
Who wants to start a dialogue with me up here?
Yeah.
Well, this is where utility is going to be key, and really all they have to fight him with is grenades to an extent. They don't really have anything. I mean, to be fair, though, the Thatcher EMPs are underrated for countering him because the one thing he has to counter someone just running up and meleeing him is the stun, and that's taken away with an EMP.
Look at how much time they've wasted here.
Ooh, it's working.
They're still just standing in lobby. This is a team that we have not seen.
Yeah.
Have a very, very rough time with stalling, but right now it's definitely having a big impact on them. Some damage from down low, but Rampy's actually going to get flicked on as Mo takes him down with a nice headshot. NBK, a little bit of damage done to him. Young also now has a goo mine in his foot, so plenty of sight pressure still to hold things down, especially after thinking Nade takes down Necrox. That's going to be a big pick as well. That's going to be the Maverick. Thatcher to soon fall, Thermite to soon fall as well, as all of a sudden we're equaled on man count. Everyone's spread thin though. Mo's going to be coming up grand stairs with that diffuser. We have one top of main, but MVK is soon to be down, thinking Nade going to clean up that kill. It's going to be all on Mo to try and entry frag with a nice flick onto Canadian. He's opening the door here. Still has quite a few to find as Gio works his way in. He takes down one, but a nice frag inside a meeting. Gio has to find him. Does he know he's here? A quick pre-fire, but he can't get through the hole. He can't fight his way through. He's stuck, and Space Station wins on an impact hole that you have to vault through.
No, the vault prompt. Putting the space in Space Station as he couldn't hit it in time.
Oh my goodness.
That was, I mean,
that would be so aggravating.
You saw him hit that vase after. Like, he probably went and punched one in real life too. That's rough.
I'm buying a new headset after that, I can tell you.
Yeah, that's
100% buying a new headset after that. That headset is destroyed.
Yeah, I know. He probably tempted to just break his keyboard over his knee.
Snap it.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. But either way,
off the stack next to him, plugs it back in.
He's got to have just a whole bunch. Yeah. The interesting thing to me about that round is the previous 2 rounds had gone down to trades where the favor was in EG in terms of having the man advantage, and they just traded until EG eventually won. That round actually stayed even man count all the way down to that last one where it was just the Legion in there. And that's why they were able to win that. Obviously, well, the inability to vault through the hole was a big part of that as well. But
he loses that because the pre-fire was coming through, and he didn't know he was there until he shot. So if he's able to actually crouch and get through the hole, then Gio would end up winning that round.
Yeah. So.
But again, it all comes down to the little things inside of Siege, and that's something that you love it and hate it for.
I mean, EG can't be feeling too bad. They're still 1 round ahead right now, and I got to imagine they're making Reciprocity pretty nervous at the moment with the way they're playing, and the possibility that they could be 3-0 up right now. SSG definitely looking like they're struggling a little bit on these defenses.
And again, EG are the keepers of their own destiny. They need to win both games in order to keep Reciprocity locked out, especially after that tie. They can't tie, they can't lose, they need to win. They need to win.
SSG just gonna have to step it up to shut that down because they're the biggest long shot trying to go to Japan here.
Yeah, if SSG loses this, it's over.
Yeah, their run is over. They can just focus on next season.
Indeed.
And other lands that they might be able to get into.
Yeah, I mean we've seen them make quite a few runs, so.
Certainly can try. Well, EG though taking this round a little bit slower, just to make sure. A lot of droning. See everyone in back alley, just hanging out droning. Well, Mo and NVK entered. They are the entry fraggers, so that makes sense. You have everyone else droning. That's good teamwork. That's what you should be doing ideally in Siege. 2 entries, 3 droners, get set up, then other people can start to come in and do their thing. In the meantime, they're opening up a lot of rotations here. I like that double rotation to be able to swing around the map pretty quickly. Of course, defenders can use that as well if they don't watch those angles.
Yeah, I'm going to be asking for a flank on that, though, if that does happen. Seems like Rampy does know a drone is upstairs inside of the vent. You can access that from the front of the building. It's kind of a really weird one that people don't use too often. So you can also stick echo drones in it if you didn't know.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, we've seen that a couple of times. But we are also going to have Bosco playing on the blue stairs, which Emzo and I both talked about a little bit earlier on. But it's a very dangerous setup because if they lose Bosco early on enough, it makes it very, very difficult for them to try and stop the plant.
To be fair, Bosco almost did get the heal last time. NVK just happened to whip on the head faster than he could click that shotgun. So that was close. That was close. That could totally go different this round.
Yeah, timing is a timing, isn't it?
It sure is. In this game, it's really important. But I love how it's a mix of timing. You got these slow moments and these really fast moments and little bits of microsecond timing, and never gets boring to me.
No, it does not. Necroc's trying to make a muck of Red Hall, but nobody's going to be on the receiving end of that just yet. Bosco's actually going to rotate downstairs into B bomb site, which is a great idea. Bosco can actually prevent the plant from all the way behind this other bomb chassis by throwing it through both of the tops of the two separate walls that hold down red. You're more than likely going to be seeing that here in just a second, especially as this gets closer and closer to 30 seconds. If played perfectly, he can hold down 45 seconds, but he only has 2 of these arsenic canisters left on his side. The first one will pop off. Young obviously cannot plant inside of that, and he still has 1 after that as well. So, Evil Geniuses needs to get some entry frags here to make things just a little bit easier. Otherwise, this is definitely going towards SSG as of the current moment.
Well, definitely perfectly thrown smoke canisters, though. Credit to him. But Young just swings in. Gio taking down 1 Canadian, and Bosco bringing it back, though. A 4v3 for the defenders here. Totally winnable, especially with 5 seconds left. Rampy gets 1. NVK on Canadian, false trading it back, and Bosco for the last kill on NVK, just barely pulling it out for us, SSG. They're trying to pull a Dark Zero there and just push site quickly. But, you know, the trades eventually go in favor. Bosco staying alive, really saving that round. That is what we were talking about. The difference that can make. Bosco pulling back, yes, he didn't burn as much time, but he saved the round in more ways than one there. And his ability to throw those smokes perfectly, we know he's a very good smoke.
Oh, absolutely.
So just bringing, Canadian onto the team helped free up some roles, and he is able to play that now regularly. And you see why it's so important. Staff open area, though.
Yeah, it truly is. And, I mean, I don't want to say it, but see, chat, sometimes we're right, you know? Sometimes we know what we're talking about. Rotates him off and works out.
Flip a coin.
I do like, though, that he still showed face on blue and then rotated back while the hatch was still closed. So intelligent play by SSG to go, hey, we have a little bit of pressure here, but we'll let you have it after about a minute.
It's all the more important, too, because Canadian wasn't on Pulse that time. He was on the Kaid, so he couldn't actually provide the call-outs properly for C4s. So it was all more important that Smoke was still alive. So, yeah, to be fair, it barely worked out. We'll see, though. You were talking about open area being defensible. SSG gonna try it.
It is defensible.
Let's see.
I believe.
Let's see.
All you got to do is bow leave, friend.
All you got to do is win the round, and then you prove that it's defensible.
Just win the round, Forehead.
Stop losing, okay?
Yeah,
Come on.
Just stop losing.
Have you
tried winning? Have you tried
Did Lycan tell them that little memo, like, hey, can you guys win this time?
He just slides them a piece of paper and just says, just shoot them, Forehead. Like, yeah. Anyways, we are gonna have an operator switch up actually on the offense. We're gonna have Necrox go over to Dokkaebi. We don't see this played too often.
Well, Jackal got banned.
Yeah, she's usually brought out when Jackal's banned, but she's also very, very good at getting early intel if drones are placed properly.
Yeah, you cannot forget sound.
Yeah, exactly. You can place your drones around the map. Everyone just hops on the drone real quick. You launch the logic bomb, and then you know half the map is clear.
And this is a map famous for having a lot of drone positions where you can kind of really set up a dragnet around the map, and then you time the call, get someone who's just playing support. Like, for the planter.
To those drones.
Young, tell me where they at.
Yep, it's very nice. You just set up your drones and you just flip through the system real quick and go, okay, these 2 areas of the map are clear. This part is not. We know he's either far or close depending on the sound cue. And
now you've got frags as well.
Yeah, very intelligent play that we always see when Dokkaebi comes out. I always like having her on the field, especially with her frag grenade buff as of recent. I thought we'd see a lot more of her because of those frag grenades, but even Necrox running
It's still been a fair amount, though. Like, it's more than it used to be, that's for sure. It's definitely increased the pick rate, I think. Maybe not necessarily always in one particular region, but across all 3, definitely.
I really, really like how we have SSG holding this down right now. We are going to have an initial break of one of the Evil Eyes. That's what MVK was shooting for on that pillar that Folds had placed one of those Evil Eyes on upstairs.
It's too bad you could have hacked the cameras and then looked through it.
Yeah. Should have left that up, man. Come on. What are you doing?
Yeah, foolish.
Yeah, but MBK trying to get downstairs into logistics office. It's still going to be a front take. They're trying to figure out exactly how they want to go about this because the way that SSG is playing this from top down is, well, The best way that you can possibly play this, because you have access to stock still, which is a lot of soft destruction on the site beneath, as well as they have plenty of rotations either from square or as well as the hatches down into small office in that open area.
It's interesting you can call that logistics. I thought that was loan, so it's like...
that's
why I was a little confused earlier when you said logistics. Now that makes more sense. It is similar to...
We have so many similar calls, it's just very rough. And speaking of things that are very rough, MBK to falter off, but an immediate refrag as Rampy gets taken down from Young. So it's going to be equal trades.
But
I'd say it's still pretty equal, but Fultz is going to take quite a bit of damage as well.
Especially since it's the Doc that dies. Like, hey, Doc, can you come back to life and juice me?
Yeah, could you possibly stem yourself from the dead? I'd really appreciate that.
We saw Fultz die early before as well on that Maestro, so that's definitely not good. That was a round that definitely went EG's way once he was downed.
He's still upstairs as well, and there's no point in resuscitating people anymore since there's only 20 HP that you gain. It's still one bullet equals a kill.
Yeah,
we still have plenty of pressure upstairs, though, as Thinking Nate is peering down from Janitor down the hatch into Archives. Mo, Necrox, and Young were currently inside of there. Young's going to go for the wall, but Bosco more than likely going to Bandit trick it. That should be a freebie for him to be able to get that off. Actually, I think I still hear it going off. And yeah, we
sounded like it.
So Bosco apparently not having a spare battery in order to stop that panel. Going to get some pressure as well. And Young, what a shot onto Bosco. It's going to be a double for him in the round, but the timer is what they have to worry about. Diffuser in hand. Young falls off. Fultz still alive with very little HP, and it doesn't seem to matter. Necrox trying to battle back now, but he drops down the hatch, and that's going to be the round. Claims another kill on Canadian, trying to freeball it, but it doesn't matter. Space Station claiming round 5 and taking the lead.
I love the Canadian just like, it's over! Trying to Goomba stomp him at that point. Just, that was, he's got to feel bad after falling that hatch too, but it was already kind of lost at that point. Just the comeback at the end. So there you go. There's your open area round.
Told you.
I'll give you that one.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I know stuff sometimes.
So generous. It's just loving, caring individual.
60% of the time, it works every time.
It's that Iowa in you. Well, they'll go to tellers now. So they're doing the tour of sites here. That's all 4 bomb sites being played. So that's good. It's got strats for all of them. So far, that's not a position they probably thought they would be in necessarily, because open doesn't often work. But as you said, it can. And it did. Some of that was due to just some great counter-fragging coming out from a lot of the players in Space Station towards the end of the round. And the fact that Fultz didn't die early definitely worked in his favor later on. It was unfortunate for Rampy, who was on the dock, but Fultz now on the dock. Bosco going to be on that Vigil to sneak around. Of course, phone calls still will affect Vigil, so the Dokkaebi still a little bit of a counter. Plus, of course, you've got Mo Dig on the IQ, so Bosco going to have to watch out. There's definitely some counters to him in play. And we'll actually see the Sophia this time, but not from Mo Digga.
I'm telling you, man, you give that operator to Mo. He's an entirely different beast. He's already so good at the game. But if you give him Zofia, the gloves are off.
To be fair, the best original Zofia in my mind was NVK. Second best was Bosco.
Okay. So I feel like Bosco is just so known for his Blackbeard, honestly.
Oh, well, the Blackbeard was before Zofia, so he had multiple. Mm-hmm. But it's fine here. I'm fine with it.
How many NA people do we have that are just known for like a particular thing? Like we have Mint with shields.
Well, you got Redeemer with the Echo.
Redeemer with Echo. Even his bio on Twitter says, "I can hear an echo," which is fantastic. I thought that was great. Mo's trying to live here, Canadian to falter off, but not after he gets MVK already. See, Mo gets the refrag. Zofia already gone. You should have just handed it over.
Well, Mo's just following his entry video strats.
I guess so. He is going to whip out the electronics detector.
Literally, the first thing he says in the video is people dying from stock. That's the first thing he talks about is, you got to drone stock, because I can't tell you how many times I've died from someone killing me from stock.
NVK needs to watch that video then.
That's right. Teammates, you got to watch this.
Yeah, you got to watch Mo's video so you know what he's going to do. There you go. All right, well, Mo gets the entry frag, but not before Canadian, off of some heroics, is able to take down NVK, former teammate gone on both sides.
That's the second time, too.
Yeah, it is. It is indeed. And that's actually a very, very good kill, because now Canadian has IGL. No one really talks about this, but he's dead. Therefore, he gets to have access to all of the cameras, and he can just IGL his
tell you what, he was very good at dying early in the round. That was definitely a skill of his.
Yeah.
So he definitely capitalizes on that.
Yeah, he capitalizes on that, but that's the beauty of being the IGL as well as, you might have died. That didn't go the way you wanted it
but
to.
Now you can watch so many cameras.
And now you can watch every bit of information your team has and make the proper calls. Because you're not just guesstimating.
There's Mo killing the other entry flag.
Young going to get one as well.
Yep. Young's been on a tear lately, but he lost a lot of health in the process because, of course, Thermite doesn't have a super high rate of fire, so you are often going to trade a little bit of damage there.
This is not very doable anymore. Bosco's going to have to show up big here.
Oh, yeah. It's going to have to be a sneaky, sneaky flank.
They have so much time as well, Emzo. They can just drone out the site.
They can just call him and look for him on the IQ, and there's not really much he can do to counter that.
Yeah, I mean, Vigil obviously doesn't counter Dokkaebi.
If there was a mute jammer, he'd be okay, but they ain't.
Not even in the cards. Not even in the cards. Thinking Nade's still trying to hold down open area. Does have a Goon Mine on his elevator door. Ooh. Impacts to lock down the wall, so they're still running into a couple of issues. Drone will get shot from Bosco. Still has full charges ERC-7 backpack as well as stun grenades will go over. And this time around, he'll be able to get the wall. No more impacts in play for Bosco, obviously, as he is sitting on 0. Thinking Nade, though, will get Geo, trying to bring man advantage back. Young still has quite a bit of damage done to him as well.
This is doable.
Yes, it is indeed. Thinking Nade now lying inside of Archives. He's waiting for this last hit. Can he possibly get it? That's next starts to fall. Plant completely abandoned. Only 20 seconds left. SSG playing this to a T. He has to try and stick this now. Young, not very much health. Mo rotating in. Is he going to read it out? He can't get through the hole again. He's stuck. Can he finally find the kill? Yes, he does. Bosco, though, finally makes it down to a 1 versus 1. It's all left up to Mo. Quite a bit of damage done to him as well. He's just going to play timer. Can't possibly go for the drone. And it's going to be Mo this time. Evil Geniuses to tie things up. And Mo especially coming to light here in round 6.
Well, now it's Bosco's turn to kick himself, as I really thought he had that. Him waiting, I mean, whether it was purposeful or not, to kill the defuse planter, that was great timing because that just burned off even more of their time. And, oh, that was so close there. Even the fight with Thinking Nade. Thinking almost got away with it just because you were talking about that hole just being problematic for them. But
these impact rotations are just the plague of Evil Geniuses.
They're really, they're... I was going to say
this should be 4-2 right now. This should be 4-2 right now.
It should be.
I mean, of the two of us, you're definitely going to make the more dad jokes. So you can definitely say it was impactful on the round.
Okay.
Ah ha ha ha. Ah ha ha.
Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy, indeed. That round, especially early on, was a good take from Evil Geniuses to start off, but they soon just could not find their footing when they were actually going for sight. And
just two people on
it really felt as though they just did not have the information game going for them early on. I mean, obviously they already knew that top pressure was alleviated because they killed Canadian inside of stock. You might have one person playing over inside of meeting or inside of CEO. So they know there's either one person up there or they're going for a horizontal hold, all except for Canadian.
Yeah.
So when they do that, you're able to drone through quickly up top, especially with Dokkaebi with those sound cues, so they immediately know that top is clear. But then they go over and start going for a lobby take instead, all off of the efforts of just not really droning much. And again, you have the Dokkaebi.
You saw the last drone as well try and go in, and Bosco just shot it while he was invisible.
I don't know whether they just lost a crapload of drones during prep phase.
Probably.
That's really what it seemed like.
Yeah.
Because when that kind of instance happens, where they just try and go for a default take, even though they have top pressure or something along those lines, it's usually lack of intel, so they just feel more comfortable going for a different take.
Yeah, at the end of the day, they won the round, though, so they can't be feeling too bad about that. But you're right, that definitely was problematic, to say the least.
Hey, even in the rounds that you win, there's always some stuff you want to fix.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, Canadian now on Ash, though.
3-3 and sides of sides of Switch now, so definitely going to be interesting here.
Thinking Nade going to get rid of a pest early on, so that's one off the board. MVK can only possibly steal 2 drones now. This Canadian will be droning upstairs to see if there's any pressure.
Will he find it here? No one finding anything just yet. No freebies here. Modigga, the one kind of roaming around over here with Canadian hunting for him. The old crouch walking Ash. Gonna do some droning for himself.
There's no real top pressure upstairs anyways. They're wasting a little bit of time, but hey, when you're trying to make sure that there's no roamers that can possibly flank you, it's not really a time waste. They do have to worry about some people inside of Archives as well as the Teller's area. Necrox going to be playing the exact same spot that we saw SSG playing over inside of Blue as the Smoke. Doesn't have a shield this time around though, so it's a little bit more dangerous, but he can also get more aggressive. Geo trying to hold down Archives, so this seems to be more of a pinch attack than anything. Well, you're going to get one of the hatches open with a thermite charge upstairs. I'm going to assume this is more of a audible being called right now on the offense by Canadian. NVK, though, will claim the first life, and that's a big pick. That's going to be the Thatcher.
Well, I guess, you know, in terms of using the thermite, as long as you save one for the wall downstairs, you still have the Maverick to be able to open things up. It's definitely something they can play with here, but they're not really able to take blue stairs yet, with Necrox able to still sit there, and Modigga now backing him up downstairs behind servers. I gotta imagine he might have some ADSs to help him with that as well. This is looking decent for this defense just off time burning, although Rampy taking down NVK, not great for that. Might have already had his pests out, but a minute left. This could go either way for sure. With a 4v4 in that minute, but they've still got to get control. Unless they're going for Vault Drop, they need control of server stairs soon.
It really does seem like that is the only way that they possibly win this round at this point. Necrox is still holding down the top of blue, and they can't possibly get that hatch open in time, so this is definitely going to have to be more Sledgehammer than it is anything else. Nothing surgical going to be going on. It's all gas, no brakes, Emzo, is what's going to be going on.
If it's going to be surgical, it's going to be more of an amputation than anything else.
Probably a really risky amputation as well. Rusty Spoon or something like that. But actually, everyone's still all over the map. It really just seems like SSG can't barely find their footing. Necrox to claim one, but he immediately gets refragged by Rampy upstairs inside of Archives. Canadian now rushing down inside of Garage.
No.
He's going to get spotted out by a Valkyrie cam, so he knows more than likely somebody's going to be trying to hold his angle inside of Garage. Young has rotated to the bottom of stairs, but actually they've worked their way in from the hatch. Bosco now planting. Young can just shoot him through the wall. Is he going to do it? Does he even hear it? You have to get this shot. He does. Young finally, an evil geniuses. After a little bit of a scare there for just a second, will kill the man planting. Get this diffuser locked up.
Well done by EG, and that gives them a nice lead there. But that was rough. SSG, though, also just really struggling to find a foothold and an entry point. The fact that they got into sight was still pretty good, but that was desperate at that point. You could just see they didn't seem to have even decent map control, really. Necrox getting away with what he did. And
they had nothing of importance to the actual site. Yeah. They had the top floor, but what does the top floor mean when you're on the bottom floor?
Yeah, they're just
literally nothing.
Scrambling around on that middle floor at that point. They had to have been trying to call audibles in terms of where do they go, and that unfortunately falls on Canadian.
Well, I feel like he had a general idea of what they were going to do, especially with the early drones with the barbed wire on top of blue, stuff like that. So he's like, okay, maybe we'll try and go for this, go for a top clear, and then we should be able to just have free pressure inside of Archives and stuff. He might have not accounted for the roam game inside of the lobby office as well as Archives, and that might have been where they really got stunted, because obviously they opened up that hatch upstairs in the elevator hallway. Mo popping off as usual. Again, he's been a great pickup for EG.
Absolutely.
But just to finish the point, they open up the elevator hallway hatch over here by stock that you guys can see over by the vending machine. They open that up with an exothermic charge, which means that they're trying to stop the pressure on the mid-floor by cutting off rotations for these roamers. And as we saw, they were perfectly fine with just standing there and going, you got to come kill us.
You have to come down here sooner or later.
You have to come down here.
Yeah. Well, it worked out for them. Of course, they had to change.
They're going to do the same thing, but with a top floor hold this time.
We'll see how it works out for them. They've got that castle, of course, to try and help lock things down, because you really need a castle. There's way too many angles. You see, in this case, dedicating to the windows. Really concerned about banana windows. Now that a lot of teams are pushing those main stairs, those windows become that much more important, because you get a lot of people going along banana there. That's that curve at the top that curves along the side of CEO. That becomes really important in those fights, because people trying to play inside that front office, trying to contest those stairs, can easily get flanked if someone manages to get up fast enough that you can't stop them. So I appreciate the thought into that. Of course, you can go with some repels as well for some angles if you can keep control of lobby, which is what Canadian starting to set up a little bit here, potentially with Thinking Nade's help if he goes for the repel as well. But they've got to have lobby control. You cannot allow someone to hang out in lobby and shoot you. And luckily, you got Fultz droning and making sure that no one's doing that just yet. So they're playing somewhat safe. Geo going to be that roamer on the vigil as well. Going to just bide his time. Not get spotted. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with that the Mozzie in play. We've been seeing a lot of that in that duo today of Vigil and Mozzie. Mozzie is just a fantastic operator, man. I can't sing his praises enough. But in tandem with Vigil, it works out very, very well, just because not only are you pulling drones away, but Vigil can seem like he's anywhere at once. And speaking of being anywhere at once, Necrox is going towards the heavens. Canadian with an early frag takes down the dock, and that's why that office is sometimes called no man's land, because you don't want to be there. You have windows, you have walls to worry about. Now they have the walls open. Geo can possibly rotate from underneath and get a kill, but Thinking Nade is waiting at the top of the stairs for anyone to try and rotate in, whether it be from the stairs, the window, or even the hallway. Seems like he might have his first victim, and yes, he will. Mo's going to try and peek out with the Mozzie, but immediately gets eviscerated. I pulled a Flynn. My bad. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was like, don't sound like Flynn. But I ended up sounding like Flynn.
At least you aren't saying flurry of kills all the time.
Well, Young going to be trying to prevent a plant from going down. Will not find anything home, though, as Bosco will be able to confirm that. Rotates back out, able to lay down, and this seems like pretty easy goings for this offense so far. NBK trying to bring things back. He will find their very first kill for EVG's side as Rampy will falter. Geo now trying to rotate out, but I don't believe he's aware of Thinking Nade on the window still, and I still think he's going to rotate into him. Bosco claims one. Can he find him? He can. Has to worry about the window, but it's going to be Thinking Nade with the deliverance. NBK just going to hop out. He gets a kill, but it's not going to matter at the end of the day. Immediately refragged by the Capitao, and Space Station win their offensive round.
And that was with the square take. They went for it. You know, the pushing up the stairs isn't working all that great all the time. And I like that they just locked down Banana with the castle barricades, just made so it wasn't as useful.
Well, with thinking it in that power position on the window,
yeah.
Honestly, like this is an honest-to-God question. What are you going to do? No. You have to kill him. You have to go lobby and kill him, or you can't peek.
It's not impossible to get into lobby.
No, absolutely
Especially
not.
the Vigil, right? If you're watching on drones, like, sneak Vigil.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised that it didn't get rotated, and we really didn't see any map pressure from SSG over on that side. So it's really weird that SSG would go for the square take late, especially after plant with Geo up the stairs. But that was really all he could do at that point.
Yeah.
Earlier on, especially when Mo had died, I felt like that might have been a play, maybe. But, I mean, even then, you're just gripping at pearls at that point.
Absolutely. And, you know, they're going to try again. So we'll see what they do this time, how they adapt to it. Second attempt at CEO. They're going to have Geo this time on the pulse. So that should be interesting. And it's
a little bit more prevention.
Yeah, he could still be playing onside if he's going to try and check those windows early and make even call-outs for someone to be able to try and peek.
Well, even then, if you really think about it, they're not running anything that directly affects Evil Eyes except for Twitch. Obviously, you can break them, but when they get the walls up and go for that plant immediately, you could totally place an Evil Eye inside of A or Valkyrie cameras and just play 2 Nitro cells underneath.
Evil Eye even better because you've got potentially the smokes from Capital. So... absolutely, yeah. They have the grenades they could use as well from Rampy.
I mean, there's always a myriad of ways to get rid of it.
Or you just run up and hit it with the hammer.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know, Rampy, just screw it. Just swing in. We need you to get rid of this Evil Eye.
Yeah,
no one's dead yet. We got your back, though, buddy. It's
easy.
fine.
No, we'll trade you. Don't worry. Just get that Evil Eye.
We'll trade you. Just get the Evil Eye.
Yeah. Well, they're already going to lose a drone in lobby. Not a great start in that sense, but there are plenty of windows to look through if they need to. Possibly some repels as well to try and find out where they can catch someone off guard. Repels on this map, I mean, while they work both ways, they can be very dangerous for the defenders because there's so many angles you can get from lobby repels on multiple sides. It becomes very difficult to play in that area, but it is very important in terms of countering the repellers on the side of the building that we see so often. No, that doesn't work, Canadian. He was not peeking with it, but he's going to go ahead and get it with that. There we go. One Evil Eye down. Half the job done in that sense.
One more to go as they're trying to get some presence on lobby this time around. They're trying to mix things up, which could work out for them in the end, but it really did seem like the last time that SSG played the site, they were poised to try and defend a lobby take. There really wasn't very much awareness of a square take happening. So I'm going to assume they've done a little bit of backlogging and going, okay, Canadian either prefers this, or this team prefers this, or, you know, might be some scrim knowledge.
Now they're going for a lobby take.
Yeah, they're going right through ATMs. Folt's already on rappel as well, trying to prevent anybody from running out the double door.
He can actually smoke it from there and use fire as well to deny anyone. Like you said, he doesn't necessarily have to even shoot them. Just deny. You can hit behind the desk with the fire. That's important because a lot of people hide behind there to try and fight the banana windows.
This is so very dangerous. 2 rolls of barb at the top of the staircase as well. An extreme long angle for the castle, but obviously Canadian has the ACOG, so more than likely going to come out on top in this battle. He sees his shoulder. He's just waiting for it. Pre-fire comes out. Canadian obviously getting recognized, but no! Young, oh my God, what a shot to the top of Grand Stairs, and Canadian's down for the count. Nice shot in chat, and he definitely deserves it.
Yeah.
Only a minute left, and this lobby take still not working out for them. Rampy trying to work his way up Banana right now. He goes for the prone. The army crawl still has 2 frag grenades. Pre-fire coming through the bookcase, but down they definitely know his presence on Banana. So they're just going to try and ignore these lines of sight as much as possible. Could still possibly try and frag Necroc out, but we do not have any ADSs to worry about either. So definitely could work out for them in the end. Foltz with an initial kill to try and get some more baggage onto site. Necrox, though, will fire back as Rampy falls. Necrox trying to battle the windows, and he wins that one as well. Flicks down, can he win it? No, he has to stem himself up. A quick dash up, though, will confirm that kill for Foltz, and all of a sudden it's still man count in EG's favor as they battled their way onto site. They have to try and get this diffuser down, though, with only 20 seconds remaining. They still have to pulse to worry about underneath, and Geo's got that cardiac sensor out. This could spell disaster unless they're able to plant on some hard surface, which you're not able to. He goes to plant in the corner, but Geo definitely knows. He's trying to transfer back and forth between the sites, but Foltz can't stop. He has to keep moving the feet. Young to take down 1. A Nitro cell for the second, and that's Evil Genius's round for round number 9.
What an explosive finish.
To say the least.
Yeah, that was... It's rough. He's going around the room the entire time, just trying to find a spot. And Geo's pick over to the pulse paid off.
100% worth it.
Absolutely.
100% worth it. Especially because they didn't have any drone play go downstairs either. And if they did, Mo would have got free drones. I like how a lot of teams have been instituting Mozzie at this point. Instead of just setting them around site and go, oh, hey, look, I prevented drones.
You defend one person.
They just defend one person on roam, and it works out for them almost every single
Lock
time.
it down.
It's such a good usage of his utility.
And it's just something you can't do the same with Mute because of jumping over them.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Or Twitch drones can just shoot him, whereas Pest, you can literally barricade a door and then just put it on the bottom of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
nothing you can do.
Good luck, friend.
It is funny, too, because I saw for a while that Twitch had both shock drones.
By the way.
Yeah, Mo is just, whew. He's trying to make some more hits on that video.
Yeah, absolutely. This is how you entry frag and beat SSG on border. All right, excuse me, on bank.
Yeah. Beat Canadian on his old map.
Ooh. He's going to go change the title of that video now.
Yeah.
This is how you beat Canadian at bank.
Just try and get some more clicks. Bait it up.
Isn't that all YouTube is nowadays?
Yeah. So there you go.
Really is. We are going to have Geo switch back over to the Valkyrie, though. He's going to be putting a lot of his cams up inside of open area. And why not? You want that information on where your opponents are. He's actually going to dedicate 2 into here, which, again, not a bad idea at all. This is a main focal point for any offender-sided team that's playing bank and going for a downstairs site take.
Yeah, you really want to have control of open area, whether it be open hatches or even just cut off any rotations to come around to get you, for example, from kitchen. If you're trying to play the server stairs, you got to watch your flank. So there's plenty of importance to that particular room. And it's a big room to try and do. You got to drone it well as well. So having intel on it from the defenders definitely works. Modiga and NVK somehow taking a little bit of damage early on, though. Pest already catching one. There you go. NVK with a little toy to play with now, and that's Thinking Nade's drone. He's going to take it out. Nope.
It's so much better when you just have to see them shoot their own child. It's
it
like,
does,
hey,
it does feel pretty
I
funny.
finally get to use my drone. It gets taken. You're like, I'm sorry, son. Bang. Like,
Yeah.
you got to get rid of it. Old Yeller memes.
I love, too, when you got like the Twitch with the shock drone that just kills the Mozzie drone for you. Like, I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
I got this. Old Yeller's going down.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like that. No, you're like, dang it.
I gotta put him down.
Yeah, I got to put him down.
He's gone rabid.
Yeah,
this one almost did as well.
Yeah, it's actually below on the below staircase, though.
Yeah, Canadian looking
bottom.
for it. Concerned, but you know what? He saw what he needed to see. That's all that matters. Gets around the corner, opens the wall. He's just looking to see if he can help clear out this mid floor as fast as possible here. And of course, they do have the assistance potentially of Fultz on the phone calls as well for that, but Canadian just trying to do Ash things instead at the moment. Save those logic bombs for later.
I always found it's a very difficult thing to IGL from that entry position, but Canadian still somehow finds a way to do it. When you're so focused on trying to get frags and stuff to worry about the rest of the team, that seems like a lot of stress on one person. Because not only are you trying to rack up those numbers, but you're also trying to be like, okay, you need to do this, we need to be doing this right now. There's so much stuff to worry about, and he still finds a way to be successful with it, which is something you don't see too often. So tip of the cap to him, but they're definitely still in very, very dire moments here as Necrox is still holding down blue. The last time that we saw them attack this site, it all came down to, well, really just a hope, wish, and a prayer that they could get onto site and get kills, and it did not work out for them in the end.
No, definitely not. I mean, 54 seconds left. Still enough time to start to make push happen. At least they're opening hatches, but not finding any kills and not really doing much to necessarily control a lot of the map downwards. It's not working out. Necrox playing that same B site smoke defense potentially as well in there. Although it looks like he doesn't have the top of the wall open to be able to go for the throws. It's hard to say here. And it looks like he has one small angle could potentially use. So we saw quite a bit more open when we saw it being used by Bosco. Young, though, finding Canadian from the there we go. Yeah, actually is able to use it. Exposes himself a bit more, though, to Garage. But he's got Mo and Young there to cover that. So not a big deal. NBK looked like he might as well be in there also, so they're definitely concerned about 15 seconds left to go, though, and phone calls come out, and Young's going to hold him back.
All he's got to do is deny. Bosco has to get aggressive, but Fultz will falter off first. Bosco gets the frag, but NVK already with 2. Only 4 seconds remaining. Is Thinking Nate and Bosco the only 2 that remain? He has to try and pick up the diffuser, but no! Evil Geniuses pushes it to match point here with round 10.
Definitely looking pretty good for EG in that potential run for Japan, especially after the tie we had earlier from Reciprocity, so they are definitely big contenders at the moment. Spacestation could come back, and if there's going to be a draw, it's Spacestation or Rogue. So
yeah,
EG are very good at getting to match point. It's that last round that they struggle with.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a struggle recently, but it's also been a struggle for SSG as well.
And Rogue. So yeah, it's absolutely about. But both these teams, as I said, tied Rogue on this map, so they're very familiar with getting ties here. Entirely possible SSG come back from this, but the way we've been seeing EG playing, though, I feel like they've had the edge, not just in terms of what we're seeing in the scoreline, but just in terms of the way these rounds have gone down. Some of them have just been down to like problems getting through vault holes and things like that. So overall, EG seems a bit more on top of it, but Mo's leading the way on that, for sure.
That was just so rough for them. You had to feel for him right there.
Oh, for sure.
Well, as we are going down to practically or possibly the last round here, NVK has also warmed up quite a bit. Now into the double digits as well, so 22 kills between NVK and the young Mo. Yeah. So overall, I'd say Evil Geniuses has fared very, very well since this pickup.
It's certainly going well. I mean, SSG hasn't probably gained as much, it seems, from picking up Canadian, but I still think it was a good pickup. Don't get me wrong.
I completely agree with you. And I also look at it this way. Mo is not coming in to be an IGL. Mo is coming in to shoot things, whereas Canadian is coming in to be an IGL. When your company comes under new management, what happens?
It honestly
it honestly is rough for a couple of weeks, right?
Sometimes you instantly do better for like a week.
Well, that's the honeymoon phase. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, we just picked him up. We're stomping everybody, and then reality comes crashing down, and you're like, oh, wait. Whoops. We forgot that we just picked up this guy, and we're trying to get things figured out. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. Well, hopefully for SSG, they can have a little bit of a faster push this time, because definitely struggle with it. It seems like EG have been able to kind of thwart their map control to an extent. Of course, banning Jackal helps with that as well, because that was their ban. It's going to slow things down a little bit. They are not bringing the Dokkaebi this time. Instead, it was about roam control from the Nomad to just try and slow down their ability to retake any areas that they are able to hold on to and reduce some of that flank watch at least.
They haven't been able to get the opening frags on the offensive side, and that's been a massive deal. So rather than actually deal with the issue, they're just going to put a Band-Aid over it. Why not? Put an air jab on rotation, make it to where they can't flank you, and if they do flank you, they get knocked on the ground and you get a free kill.
Yeah, it's a Band-Aid that sends people flying. That's not bad.
Yeah. It still just makes me laugh that Nomad has a massive issue with killing animals when, obviously she made the air jabs for that reason. People are trying to get onto the site, MBK with a double kill.
Hello.
But then she makes these things to knock down animals, but then she has no issue with making it to knock down a person then shoot them in the head.
To be fair, these are imaginary people. This is virtual simulation.
Yes, this is a virtual simulation. And just to, break the fourth wall for you guys, this is all just training for Team Rainbow. You're welcome. Nobody actually dies inside of these trainings.
That's how they're able to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
But no one coming back this round.
They're very good actors. All of the operators are paid actors.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how it works.
They were sourced off Craigslist. Worked out.
Rampy and Canadian, those are two huge early picks, though. And this just makes it so more dire for this team right now. Yeah, and no more frag grenades. Canadian, no more R4C or anything. They just have to sit on the bench and try and see if they can make anything happen.
You know what's important for that is the Evil Eye, and look what it's doing. He did manage to catch it, though. That was a bit of a mistake from NVK exposing it like that, because they didn't have the utility to clear it unless Sledge really wanted to get up there and hit it.
Yeah, and Evil Geniuses have already relieved top pressure as well and rotated all the way downstairs. They can still cut off the rotate for elevator hallway, though, as you'll see an air jab go down on that door, the double door down behind beepers. So air jab dedicated there. Now their main focus should be onto site. Doesn't seem like they have any impacts to really stop this from happening, so the wall will be opened, and Bosco now prioritizing that plant. Needs a lot of help, though, with only 40 seconds left. Seems like the rest of EG are trying to rotate in behind to the eastern side. As you can see, Mo as well as Young still trying to play their lives. Don't want to go for the rotate, especially with a Nomad still on deck. NVK is sitting at the bottom of main stairs right now, though, but it's not all going to matter. Necrox gets knocked over. Bolts thinks it's the wrong one, though. He checks the wrong air jab. It was the one for the for the teller's desk instead. Is he going to get shot in the feet now, though? He tries to pre-fire. Can't find much. Just off the coattails of the feet, and Evil Geniuses with a flawless round to lock things out. What a good showing.
They absolutely just played into the fact, they got locked out with the air jab.
Very weird round.
Yeah. It was all focused on lobby, and just those two early kills, though, from NVK really paying off. The two entries giving themselves to him willingly, at the end of the day, ultimately costing them, and EG now the front runner for second place.
Very, very weird. NVK and Mo combining for 25 kills as well. That's